In this video, I'm going to show you how to add mixed media elements to your footage in After Effects. For this, we're going to use a pack called Mixed Media by AEJuice.com, and you can find the link to that in the description down below. Without any further ado, let's dive straight into the video. So we're here in After Effects. Right off the bat, I'm just going to import my footage, and I found this specific video on pexels.com. I will link it in the description down below, and I'm going to right click and click on new comp from selection. And what we have here is this guy doing a sick backflip on a highway, as you can see. And the first thing that we want to do is just basically like shorten this footage, because I want to have it start from here. Have the footage start by pressing Alt or Option on my keyboard with the left bracket, and this will just cut off the footage right before that. Scrub our timeline to the beginning of the composition and press the left bracket one more time to make it start wherever the footage is actually starting. And now we just see this movement and the backflip. And here I want the footage to cut. So I'm gonna go and press the letter N here on my keyboard to end the composition playing right there. First thing I want to do is rotoscope this guy. So from, I think, the second backflip. So let's start here, and we'll just move the cursor to around here, and we'll double click on the footage in the composition, and this will open up a new layer. And we're going to use the roto brush tool here, right here at the top. And let's start by drawing out. If it's not entirely accurate, all you need to do is just zoom in and add parts where you want to add it. If you want to remove a part, hold Alt or Option on your keyboard and the roto brush will turn red and will remove that specific area from the selection. Let's remove this part of the background. I just want to show you how this works, and for the sake of this tutorial, I'm just going to leave it here because I think this is fine for now, because the result of our animation will be lo-fi anyway. So let's hold Command or Control on your keyboard and the right arrow, and we'll scrub forward with our frames, and let's double check if our subject stays within the roto brush boundaries. And it's going quite well, actually. What I want to do now is click on the freeze button right here, and this will just freeze up all of the roto brush frames and mask them out for me later. So once this slider is complete, we have a transparent version of our footage here, which we can use to draw out a line over, which I will show you in a second. So now that we have this layer, let's go back to our composition layer, and as you can see, we now have our subject doing this backflip right in front of a transparent background. So all we need to do is we'll just rename this layer to something like transparent, and we'll just duplicate this layer and we'll call this one background, and we'll delete the roto brush effect from that footage and move it to the back. So now you don't see any difference, but let's grab certain part of the footage like this part here. Let's go to layer styles, stroke. As you can see, we now have a stroke around our subject, so let's make that yellow and maybe a little bit thicker. Let's choose where we want the stroke to appear. So I think somewhere from here towards here is fine. So now we have this, and next I want to just add some mixed media elements to this. So let's open up the AEJuice Pack Manager, which is a full-on plugin for After Effects where you browse all of the AEJuice packs that they have available for them, and let's search for mixed media, and let's open this pack up. For the text, let's start out with the ransom letters, and let's click on the A here and just click on import. Now if you go back to our composition, what you can see is that the A here is actually already animated. Delete that for now, and let's see what we can make. So let's go with the letter A and click on import for the scribbled letters, and here you can enter a word. So type in AEJuice for a second and click OK, and let's see what happens, because I think this is actually really awesome. Now if we go back to our composition, you can see that the animation is animating the text here. So let's just double click on this composition here and click on the controls here, move this closer together like this. As you can see, this will be applied to our alphabet here. Move this around here. I think it's pretty cool. Put this over here, starting from where the first backflip is open. So let's just make it appear here. Again, I'm starting composition here by pressing the left bracket on my keyboard, and let's search for the fill effect for text panel and just drag and drop that onto our layer here, which can just make us change the color of the text right as the stroke appears. Move it again. For the first one, I kind of want to have an arrow follow his leg over here. So let's go back to the pack manager here. I saw some dope arrows earlier, so let's import arrow number 12. Let's go back to the composition, position that correctly in the right timing. So the first leg is going here, so we want to have it start right here. Move it, rotate it a little bit, scale it as well. Let's go right click on the time and remove the time remapping and then click on time again and use the time stretch, and we'll just put this to, let's say 25 to make it really fast. Maybe that's a little bit too fast, so let's Ctrl Z, change this to 50, and we'll also drop the same fill effect on there, but maybe do like a orange arrow here. And let's fix the position rope. Open up all of these settings all together, and if you're wondering how I'm doing that, I'm just holding shift while actually pressing the letter P, S and R on my keyboard. I think this is pretty cool, like it follows the motion. And then once his face appears here, I actually wanted to do a smiley face, which we actually also add, which I saw just now. Let's import the smiley face. And for this smiley face, what I want to do is have it appear starting from here. Drop fill onto this with a black layer. Perhaps I think I also saw some other elements which we can kind of use for the background. So in the pack manager, we can also search for scribbles. Under the animated scribbles, I think there are some filled ones which we can use to make the background for the smiley. So maybe I was thinking this one here, import that. And if we go back to the composition, let's make the smiley a lot smaller. So it's like in front of the scribble like this. And then we can move it towards where we want it. So this is around the time where I want the smiley to appear. Press the left bracket again. Make sure that I press P, and I'm now holding shift to bring up the rotation. Let's position this correctly. Something that I want to do now is see if we can just make this move along. Let's just animate all of these and let's make it follow our subject here. And we can just skip a couple frames because we are going to lower the frame rate in just a second. So let's just move it towards here. Let's rotate it just a bit more. And I'm gonna keep scrubbing forward with holding Control on my keyboard and pressing the right arrow. Just moving and rotating the smiley here. And I think around here is where I'm kind of happy with the result. Now I want to select all of these keyframes right here. Right click, keyframe assistant, it's on toggle hold keyframe. And this will make sure that this animation is looking a little bit jittery. And that's fine for now, actually. The next thing that we want to do is add a lower frame rate to this in general to make it look like it's been printed out, just scanned back in. So let's go to layer, new adjustment layer, click on posterize time, turn this to 12 frames per second, which makes it look like really jittery and cut it, as you can see. And there we go. All we can still do to make it even more lo-fi is go to the pack manager, and we'll just start to search for like film effects maybe. Because we have a pack called film textures, you can just drag and drop a grain onto there. So let's import that. And if we go back to our composition, let's move that all the way to the bottom where our background is. There we go. A mixed media animation. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel for more tutorials. And if you like what you saw and you want to get some AEJuice packs for yourself, you can get them on AEJuice.com, and the link for that will be in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next tutorial.